You know what makes social anxiety worse? Trying to be brave. I know, that sounds backwards, but stick with me here, because understanding this might change everything about how you approach your social fears. The problem with just be brave. Imagine someone who's terrified of dogs. Now imagine telling them, just be brave, walk right up to that dog, feel the fear and do it anyway. What happens? Their heart races, their palms sweat. They force themselves toward the dog while every cell in their body screams danger. They might touch the dog, sure, but inside they're having a full-scale panic attack. Did that help? Not really. Their brain just learned, dogs are so dangerous that I need massive courage just to survive being near one. This is exactly what happens when you push through social anxiety. When you force yourself to talk to people while feeling terrified, you're not teaching your brain that social situations are safe. You're teaching it that socializing is so dangerous, it requires heroic bravery. You're actually reinforcing the fear. What actually works? The dog whisperer approach. Here's how people actually get over dog phobia. And it's weirdly gentle. You start by just watching dogs from far away, through a window maybe. And here's the key part. You wait for curiosity, not bravery, not courage, not feel the fear and do it anyway. Curiosity. That little moment when you notice, that dog's ears are floppy, or oh, it's wagging its tail, or it sneezed, that's kind of cute, that tiny spark of interest, that's gold. That's your brain starting to see the dog as something interesting instead of something threatening. And guess what? You don't even have to get closer. Just feeling that curiosity, even from across the street, is progress. Real, measurable, brain rewiring progress. The social anxiety version. The brave approach doesn't work. Force yourself into conversations while panicking. Push through the fear. Judge yourself for being anxious. Feel exhausted and traumatized afterward. Brain learns socializing is a dangerous survival situation. The curiosity approach actually works. Observe social situations from wherever feels comfortable. Notice small things. Someone's joke, a friendly tone, an interesting topic. Feel that tiny flicker of, oh, that's kind of interesting. Maybe move a little closer. Maybe don't. Both are fine. Brain learns socializing might actually be interesting. Curiosity beats courage every time. Think about it. When you're curious, your brain is in exploration mode. It's open, relaxed, interested. When you're being courageous, your brain is in survival mode. It's tense, scanning for threats, ready to run. With dogs, courage, I must survive this encounter with the beast. Curiosity, I wonder what it's like to pet soft fur. With social situations, courage equals I must endure this conversation without embarrassing myself. Curiosity, I wonder what this person thinks about that topic. See the difference? One keeps the fear alive, the other gently dissolves it. The mindset you're actually looking for, when people successfully overcome their fear of dogs, they go through a shift. They stop thinking, I need to be brave around dogs, and start thinking, I'm interested in dogs. The dog doesn't change. Their feelings change. Same with social anxiety. The goal isn't to become someone who's brave enough to handle scary social situations. The goal is to become someone who finds social situations kind of interesting. Maybe even enjoyable. You're not building courage muscles. You're rebuilding your emotional relationship with something your brain mislabeled as dangerous. What this looks like in practice. Let's say you're at a party, standing in the corner, classic. Wrong approach. I should join that conversation. Everyone else can do it. What's wrong with me? Okay, be brave. Just do it. Forces yourself over while internally screaming, says something while every nerve is on fire. Counts the seconds until you can escape. Brain. That was terrifying. Social situations confirmed as life-threatening. Right approach. They're talking about that new show. I like that show. That's interesting. Stays in corner, just listening. Feels tiny urge to add something. Maybe moves slightly closer. Maybe doesn't. Notices it's not so bad just being here. Brain. Observation logged. Was near humans. Nothing bad happened. Humans discussing television. Mildly interesting. Which one actually reduces your anxiety long term? The second one. Every time. The permission you've been waiting for. Here's what nobody tells you about overcoming social anxiety. You don't have to do anything. Just like with dogs, You don't have to pet them. You just have to be willing to notice them without running away. With social situations, you don't have to join conversations, be witty, make friends, or perform. You just have to be willing to observe without judging yourself for not participating. The curiosity will come naturally when your brain feels safe. And when curiosity comes, gentle participation follows, if you want it to. Why pressure makes everything worse. Every time you pressure yourself, I should talk more, I need to be more social, why am I so awkward? You're adding stress, and stress activates your brain's threat detection system. It's like standing next to a nervous person while they stare at a dog and mutter, "Why am I so scared? I should just pet it. What's wrong with me?" That dog-fearing person isn't going to suddenly relax. They're making themselves more anxious. Pressure, more fear. Curiosity, less fear. It really is that simple. The weird truth about healing. The person who overcomes their dog fear isn't the one who grits their teeth and forces themselves to pet dogs while terrified. It's the person who stands at a safe distance, watches a dog sneeze, thinks that's kind of funny, and goes home. Then comes back another day, watches again, notices the dog's tail wagging, thinks, huh. Eventually they're standing closer. Not because they forced it, but because curiosity naturally pulled them forward. One day, they realise, wait, I'm not scared anymore. When did that happen? That's how social anxiety heals too. Not through courage or willpower or pushing yourself, through gentle, curious observation that slowly teaches your brain, this isn't actually dangerous. This might even be interesting. What to do right now? Next time you're in a social situation that makes you anxious, don't force yourself to participate. Don't judge yourself for not participating. Just notice one small thing that's kind of interesting. Feel whatever you feel, even if it's just meh, this is boring. Give yourself permission to stay exactly where you are. That tiny moment of noticing something interesting, that's not nothing. That's your brain learning. And unlike bravery, which exhausts you, curiosity is sustainable. You can be curious every day without burning out. The bottom line, your social anxiety doesn't need courage. It needs safety. And safety doesn't come from forcing yourself into scary situations. It comes from gentle exposure that lets your brain discover, oh, this is actually not that bad.